Hello, beautiful soul. My friend Nicole told me the other day that I seem like someone who has all their shit together all the time, every day. And I laughed. Not because it's untrue, but because of what's actually true. Here's what she sees the recovery, she sees the comeback, she sees the speed at which I stand back up. But here's what she's not seeing: how often I fall on my face and hit the ground in the first place. My coach, James Wedmore, said something the other day that landed like a brick. No amount of success, money, fame, or other abundance gets you out of being human. Nothing. And honestly, that's the whole game. I once read a story about a martial arts master whose student watched him in awe, marveling at how he never lost his balance. And when the student asked him about it, the master said, "I lose my balance constantly. I've just gotten very good at reducing the time between losing it and recovering it." And that right there, that is the skill. Not never failing, not having it figured out, not maintaining perfect equilibrium while the world is spinning around you. The skill is shortening the gap between rupture and repair. When life knocks you sideways, and it will, because you're human and alive, the question isn't if you'll lose your center, it's how fast you're going to find your way back. So let me tell you what nobody posts on Instagram. Social media has sold us this myth that success means having it together 24/7, that the goal is to never struggle, never doubt, never need to rebuild. But that's the highlight reel. And highlight reels are lies of omission. The movie, the actual story of any life worth living, includes the scenes where you're sitting on the floor of your life, reevaluating everything, where you're stripping things back to the bone of what really matters, where you're sorting through the wreckage and deciding what stays and what goes. And those scenes aren't evidence of failure, they're evidence of aliveness. And they are where the actual transformation happens, not in the pretty after photo, but in the messy middle when you are deciding who you're becoming. Here's what I do when I get knocked down. I come back to two questions. Number one, what's my strategy? The long game, the thing that matters in 5 years. Number two, what are my tactics? The daily reps that serve the long game. Most people skip this. They just react. They scramble, they grab at what feels urgent instead of what's actually important. Or they do the opposite. They think forever without ever moving. And this is sometimes where I would err. Here's the truth. You need both. Let me show you what I mean. My strategy is to make a greater impact, to be called to higher and wider service, to build scalable offerings that reach and help more people. My tactics: write every Thursday at 4 p.m., connect with the people in this community, show up consistently, authentically, without trying to perform or prove. And this strategy gives me direction when everything else is unclear, but the tactics give me traction when I need to move forward anyway. And here's the key: strategy without tactics is just dreaming. Tactics without strategy is just busy work that goes nowhere. So when life knocks you sideways, you return to your strategy to remember why you're doing any of this. Then you adjust your tactics to honor where you actually are right now. Not where you wish you were, not where you should be, but where you are. Here's what most people get wrong. They try to think their way back to center, but your body won't let you go where you want to go unless it feels safe enough to shift, because your body knows things your brain is still arguing about. So when everything feels uncertain, when you're off balance and trying to recover, you have to feel your way back first. So start here. Put your hand on your heart and breathe. Ask, what do I know to be true right now? And breathe. Feel your feet on the ground. Ask, what's actually here? What's actually mine to hold? And finally, notice where you're contracting. Ask, is this protection serving me, or is it just familiar? Then, and only then, grab your journal and dig into the prompts for getting back to reality. Number one, what really matters to me right now? Not what should matter, but what does. Number two, where am I expanding? What's pulling me forward? And number three, where am I contracting, and is it by choice? Because sometimes we contract to gather strength for expansion, and that's strategic. But sometimes we contract out of fear, and that's different. These questions cut through the noise. They bring you back to what's real. Because the real flex isn't never failing, it's knowing how to stand back up quickly, cleanly, without making it mean anything about your worth as a human, because that is inherent. The martial arts master in that story doesn't have perfect balance. He's just mastered the recovery. And that skill, it's available to all of us. It's practice, it's intention, it's deciding that the speed of your comeback matters more than the perfection of your performance. So, if you're in a season of rebuilding right now, if life has knocked you down and you're stripping things back to what actually matters, know this. You're not behind, you're not broken, you're not doing it wrong. You're just in the movie, not the highlight reel. And the speed at which you return to yourself, that is the metric that matters. Everything else is noise. So just keep going. So comment below, like, subscribe. Tell me what is one area that you're working on, where you're working on shortening the gap between rupture and repair and increasing the speed of your recovery. So comment below and tell me. I read every single one.